What is up? Here it is, Monday in the shop. You know, typical Monday stuff. Having lots of fun. But got a big news. It's big news for me. I don't know how much difference it'll make in the content, but hey, it's I'll get to that further later in the video. But I've been working on the Sportsman 700 most of the day and going through a bunch of the tools and stuff because, well, you'll also know more about that here in a little bit. This thing's whooping my ass though. I finally get it running right earlier. So I'm going after it. I'm like, come on, why is it like it ran and it was just bogging and I don't know, like backfiring, acting like it was starving for fuel. All of a sudden wouldn't start no more. So I'm going back and forth with carb settings, trying this, trying that, going back to what I did, going back to that to find out. I was having some issues with the fuel leak, fuel leaking initially, and the fuel would drip right down onto the exhaust, so I didn't want that. I didn't put very much gas in it after I got all that fixed, so it was just enough in there to not go into the filter and hit the reserve tank. Whoops. Finally get it all running right though. And now it's overheating. And I was excited because I thought I fixed the overheating problem for a second there. And the four-wheel drive wasn't working. Well, I got the four-wheel drive working. But I guess the switch was just kind of worn. I just back and forth. And it worked again. Oh, it's a busy week though. But on the plus side, sold this here beauty to Nate over at Brutal Parts. So that's one more thing that doesn't have to go. And later this week, we're gonna get the motor tore out of that Razor and check it out. I did sell a couple quads over at the auction, which that actually panned out pretty good. There was a Suzuki Quad Runner 230, not the old ones with the orange plastics that look ghetto, but it was a newer version. It was yellow, had nice rounded off plastics, more like a 300EX would have. And overall, it wasn't like bad, but I sold that thing for $125. And what else did we sell over there? There were two Sportsman 90s. One of them was locked up. One of them, honestly, I don't know. It didn't have a kickstart on it. That sold for $225, so that's pretty cool. I think I paid $100 for those with a couple more. I got all that with the Razor and those two right there. That Nate over at Brutal Parts also bought those. I'm gonna fill his truck up with all this stuff. If y'all need parts, check out brutalparts.com. All right, now hold on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go show you something. And we're back. That's kind of what I was getting at earlier. This is gonna be the new shop. So I'm pretty excited about this. So excited. And this is a lot coming from like when I started doing this stuff in 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. I started just working on a concrete slab in my mom's backyard. Ended up getting a 24 by 12 building, which I was in for 2 years. And then I had a 24 by 48 building, which is almost 1,000 square foot. And I think I was in there the longest. That was from 2015 to 2021. We had this slab poured and there was some stuff that happened that made it to where I couldn't get the building. A lot of the part of that was I had a 40 by 60 slab poured, and to get this building was going to cost me something like 60 grand because everything was all booming from like the COVID stuff and all that. So this is where we kind of had to put this off for 2 years. The shop in Idabel just kind of popped up and I was able to make that happen. So I'm gonna give you some rundown of what my plans are here. This is storage, outside storage. This is a 30-foot by 10-foot. And this is just all my spare parts, tires, my Ranger spare parts, because I spend so much time working on Rangers. And then this part is a 30 by 60. It is absolutely massive, and I imagine the echo is gonna be so bad on this, but it is what it is. So, like, I mean, just to put space-wise, you could see, like, that's a Recon 250, and it's just over there kind of in the corner. My Outlander even looks little on this. So kind of what I plan to do, and this is going off of what I've done in the other shop, because this one's a lot bigger than anything I've had. That other shop's big, but the shape's weird. I'm gonna take and go right here and loop around with all the workbenches, carb setup table, everything. The teardown table, get me a sink in here. We should be doing spray foam after the electricity, and that should be somewhere within the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm wanting to be in here by the end of June, like actually moved in. Now that we don't have all the parts, it's not near as pain in the ass to try to move everything. Like, it's just a couple machines. We're gonna take and do a probably 12 by 12 office right here, somewhere for me to be able to order parts, bookkeeping, all that. You know, all the lame office stuff. Kind of plan to store my machines over here, and I'm gonna keep some of the shelving that we had and put that along this wall right here and make that possible to store some of these random Ranger parts that we keep. You know, if I buy one of these and it needs a lot of parts to fix, then it makes more sense just to buy a whole parts bike. I kind of plan to do like bays. So everything, you know, you get a machine and you tear it apart, and then like to move it around and stuff gets moved, and because you know, you tear into something, you gotta order parts for it. And then while you wait on parts, I mean, sometimes you're looking at 2 or 3 days. Sometimes it can be 2 weeks, depending on how hard that part is to find. But I'm gonna do one thing with this shop that really bugged me at the shop we're at now, is lights. Because the lights in that shop suck, but I rent that place, so. We're gonna do some big, bright LED high bays in here. I gotta get a hold of a buddy of mine, figure out what to actually go with. But I want it to be that when I turn on the lights in here, it's like daylight, like a spaceship. Like, honestly, I could probably use light bars. I don't know about that though. Maybe I'll mount some light bars on those vertical, the angled ones, to where it'll kind of beam down and have a different angle of stuff. I don't know how to word that. One of the big plus sides is I don't have to keep everything inside. The shop that I'm at now, everything has to stay inside. Otherwise, it'll turn up missing. Somebody will take it. Somebody might take parts off of it. We did do a trial run on one, and but it was a really shitty Moto 4 that I took it to the scrapyard just because I didn't want to mess with it. And nobody messed with it, but I wrote on the side of it, fuck around and find out, rigged with explosives. So maybe not. I mean, you know them tweakers, they don't be thinking about it. Like, why would somebody rig something with explosives right next to their building? But that's beside the point. I'm gonna do a lot more in this shop, basically because I have a little more time on my hands not doing the parts, so I can dig down a little bit more into the content. One of the things I want to get back into is the live streaming. I just don't know how. What to show, maybe some more of the Will It Run lives. You know, it was kind of hard to schedule that stuff out, but I'd love to be able to have something like that set up here. I'm definitely gonna have to get internet in here because my signal ain't worth a damn. And probably some AC units. We're gonna do some mini splits. The plus side is I can do pretty much most of this by myself. I'm gonna have to ask for some help from a friend on how to wire the panel and how much load I can put on the wiring and stuff. But I know plenty of electricians, so that ain't a problem. The wild thing is they put this thing up in a day and a half. So they showed up on they called me Thursday morning, said, hey, can they come today? I'm like, yeah. All right, they'll be there in 2 hours. Well, it's a 2-hour drive over here. So these dudes drive over here, get here at 1 o'clock, it's raining. Not like hard rain, but sprinkling enough that you're actually like getting wet, not the sprinkling where you just notice it. They put up the entire frame, that wall, and that wall, from 1 o'clock to I think it was like 7:30. Yeah, it was 7:30. They drive home, 2 hours to Longview, and man, they come back. They're back here the next day at 8 a.m. And they built all of the lean-to framing, all of that, did all the rest of the metal, and they were out of here at 7:45. It's wild. I mean, that's fast. That's real fast, especially putting in the windows, the doors, all the trim. You know, you look at it and it's like, oh, this is easy. But then I'm watching them do it, and these dudes are wild, man. They're like walking across the rafters and stuff up there. Like, I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. Anyway, they did a phenomenal job on this place. If I'd have put this together myself, it would not look this good. Now, this one was a bit cheaper than I was expecting it to be. 30 by 60, 12 foot high. And then the 30 by 10 lean-to, however high that is. I think it might have been 8 foot or something like that. Yeah, it's 8 foot because the door's a 10 by 10. The walk-in door and 2 windows. Just over 21 grand. I want to say it was like $300 over 21 grand, which is, I paid more than that for the slab. I think the slab was 22,000. So that's a pretty good deal for this quality of work. The first building I had, that was one thing I didn't know, you know. They ran the sheet metal horizontal and it always leaked. Not like major leaks, but it, like, you could never stop it from leaking. This one's vertical roof. I did opt for the vertical sides because, to be honest with you, I really don't care about if it's horizontal or vertical. It doesn't make any difference to me. I'm working inside the shop. No, it looks good from the outside to me, so I really don't care. But end result, we're gonna build some cool shit in here. I'm so excited. I'm gonna make some good money out of this place. It's exciting to see something you work for come to fruition and just going for it. I mean, I've been telling myself for the past year, oh, I can't make it happen yet. Oh, I can't make it happen yet. I'm just like, oh, whatever, let's do it. We'll make it happen. I mean, look how little the Can-Am looks in here. So little. You can see where I was having fun doing donuts with my wife's Recon. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and wonder what this would cost where you live. Is this a $60,000 building? I know it's cheaper because it's the Versatube, not like Red Iron, but like, what does this cost up north where everything's most expensive?